So now I'm going to talk about how Trump victory impact U.S. economy and U.S. financial market. First, we're going to look at the stock reaction. After Trump victory was announced, U.S. stock market initially dropped but then rallied significantly. This could be as much as investors had positive expectation on future of U.S. economy and stock market. Since the expected return of stock increase, the demand of bond decrease, we signal a positive outlook for U.S. economy and financial market. Second, looking at Trump's pro-growth policy, there are three main policies which are increasing spending on infrastructure, general tax cut, and regulation of Dodd-Frank Act. In regard to high spending on infrastructure, Trump plans to spend $1 trillion by spurring private investment, which could enhance company growth performance. Besides, he proposed to reduce individual tax rate and corporate tax rate. For reduced individual tax, individual wealth increase will increase the demand for financial instruments. By the way, reduced corporate tax induced MNC to invest in U.S. due to higher after-tax profit. On the other side, the regulation of Dodd-Frank Act allowed the funds to engage actively in more projects. To summarize, all three aspects could further enhance U.S. economic growth and financial market development. However, Trump proposed trade protectionism. This could lead to a higher tariff imposition on import, which could cause the affected country to impose back the tariff on U.S. export. Also, the U.S. dollar will appreciate. As a result, export decreases, which could harm U.S. economy and financial market.
In year 2011, Malaysia is rated as one of the best financial market among countries in Asia. And the government explained that this was due to encouragement and opening up to international issuers and investors. With such, we derived that the financial markets in Malaysia is no longer solely determined by local economy but also international determinants. United States, as one of the powerhouse nations in this world, is one of the most influential determinants to Malaysia's financial market. Firstly, it is the number one trading partner for Malaysia since year 2010. Although it has dropped to number 4 in year 2012, it is still the largest foreign investor in Malaysia. Besides that, the US is also one of the most influential country because it has entered into the TPP alongside Malaysia in year 2010. Besides that, Malaysian ringgit is also pegged against the USD. With such, we see that how US could generate a large portion of the business and investors' confidence for the financial markets in Malaysia. And we could also conclude that the US has a huge influence on the markets to a certain extent, such as the commodity market, because they are the largest exporter for Malaysia.
The impact of Trump's victory causes the tumbling to happen in Malaysian ringgit because the investor confidence regarding Trump's economic plan leads to huge amount of capital outflow from Malaysia financial market. In bond market, foreign investors shift their capital from Malaysia to US, which lead to the decrease in demand for domestic bond, incurred the depreciation in Malaysian ringgit. This will cause the expected inflation rate increase, which lead to the expectation return to decrease and the demand of the bond to decrease, thus reduces the volatile liquidity in bond market. On 1st of March, the price of palm oil in Malaysia rose when Trump announced to change the federal policy on renewable fuel standards. For instance, US government provide tax incentive for refiners to blend biofuels, which lead to the increase in the palm oil price. When the demand of palm oil increases, the price of palm oil will increase. However, investors still prefer to invest into the US financial market due to the US economic growth. Thus, the increase in the palm oil price has a positive yet insignificant impact on the Malaysia economic growth.
Withdrawal of TPP will incur certain losses to Malaysian GDP growth and eliminate the minimum wage hike, which is ultimately harm employment. Further, Malaysia's potential threat will suffer a loss as well. Hence, the repeal of TPP will deteriorate Malaysian economy. Besides that, Trump supports trade protectionism by imposing high tariffs on foreign country. Higher tariffs imposed to Malaysia's exports will lead to a rise in the cost of production of domestic goods, which eventually declines the export. The employment will decline. Therefore, Malaysia's economic growth will be affected negatively. Furthermore, Trump plans to cut US corporate tax rate from 35% to 15%. Therefore, it induces more FDI outflows from Malaysia to the US because the fall in corporate tax rate will increase the after-tax profit. Therefore, multinational companies in Malaysia would prefer to invest in the US financial market, which in turn slow down the Malaysian financial market development.
Presidency of Republican nominee Donald Trump, there will be a number of moves taken by the president which will create vast impact on Malaysia's capital market. A view on both advantages and disadvantages will be covered in this analysis. First and foremost, Ringgit Malaysia will depreciate as Trump's campaign promised to boost infrastructure spending, which leads to the public forecast that FED will hike the interest rate. Demand for USD is then increased and MYR decreased. Hence, Ringgit Malaysia depreciates on a short-term basis. Besides, Trump's plan on corporate tax cut will cause US firms to shift their investment back, and FDI in Malaysia drops, which causes Malaysia stock market to be underperformed. Moreover, US withdrawal from TPP will get Malaysia stock market performance into deep trouble, as TPP is expected to boost Malaysia's economy. Withdrawal of TPP means that trade between US and Malaysia is restricted and liquidity of stock market decrease. On the other hand, Trump's presidency could benefit Malaysian capital market in long-term basis. Trump's rhetoric of returning jobs to Malaysia will eventually make the economy great again, as more employment could be achieved. When the economy is good, the stock market will also perform well. In a near-term basis, Malaysia's stock market performed extremely strong when a Republican is elected as a president. The reason is because when uncertainty hits US market, local investors will tend to be protective and shift their investment back to Malaysia market.